Well, I did say last time I was here I needed to come back with the 4x5, so I have. Now, I have had great fun shooting this tree for the past year or so. Recently shot it with the Bronica, and I wasn't really happy with the results. They were average, as I said in the video. And I decided I'd come back with the 4x5 when conditions warranted it, and today is a good example of that. There is no wind whatsoever. I have more time to set up and get the composition right, hopefully. I'm also thinking to myself, I need to be able to manipulate the film later rather than accepting the one exposure for the whole roll of film as you do with 35mm or 120. So I have with me FP4 Plus and HP5 Plus, and I'm carefully metering the scene so I can adjust the exposure accordingly. So let's have a quick look at my setup then. I have the Intrepid 4x5 with my standard 150mm lens in place, and I'm going to be stopping it down to f32. Now, you may think that's a lot of depth of field, but it isn't. You see, large format is notoriously difficult to get everything in sharp focus front to back, and I won't get that on this shot. As in a previous shoot, some of the background and the foreground will be out of focus, but the tree itself is the star here, so that's what I've focused on. Now, in terms of my metering, let me show you where I've metered, exactly where I've metered. I am metering off the tree trunk over here. My spot meter allows me to move around or independently from the camera and actually take those readings. And the area I'm metering is the deepest shadow. I want to know where the deepest shadow within the scene is because I need to give that some exposure. Otherwise it'll go very deep black. A bit like the last time I was here, I didn't give enough exposure. In addition to making things super slow with the f32 and the slow film, I've also added a yellow filter, so that's an extra stop. So believe it or not, the first frame I've exposed on this scene was at 1.5 minutes at f32. That also accounts for the reciprocity failure of the FP4 Plus film. Thankfully there's no wind today, so I think everything should be sharp. Oh, one more thing as well, I got a little notepad here. I make good old-fashioned manual notes on paper when I'm shooting large format, so I can refer to them later, see what works and see what didn't, and also get my development right, hopefully. Well, no surprises with the composition. Shot it many times before. This is my favourite angle of all. I do like the balance of tones in there. It's not too bright in the highlights, and also as you start to look at the detail levels, obviously plenty of detail in there. FP4 Plus, 4x5 film. Highlights have held nicely as well. This would make an excellent print, plenty of detail throughout the whole tonal range. And yeah, I think overall this is the position I like to shoot from. That I think I'd actually like to come back and shoot it with the 8x10 in the future though. Now, I've taken the first frame, as I said, 1.5 minutes, and the light levels have come up while I've been talking to you. So I need to re-meter and reassess the scene. Believe it or not, it's so dark on the back of the camera. At f32, I can't see anything. I can only see it when I've got it wide open at 5.6. I'm not going to be able to hold this near foreground, these branches overhanging. It's going to be a bit blurred, so I am thinking of recomposing slightly for the next 2 frames. So I get more of the tree and less of these branches. It's just one of the compromises you get with large format. Now, this particular scene has been very difficult to compose and set my camera up. The simple reason, everything's misting up on the back of the viewfinder on the ground glass, and my little loop here, this keeps misting up as well. It's a nightmare. So what I've done is I've actually put a little flashlight in the tree over there, pointing back towards the camera. Now that gives me a very, very easy thing to focus on the ground glass, even though it's a bit blurred and misty. it does snap in and out of focus reasonably well. So I'm quite confident at f32 that I'm going to get most of this scene in focus, although these branches, if they're in it, they're not going to be sharp. Yes, it's also got a little laser setting on it, this, so I can point it at you, and as you can see I could pick out something to focus on. That's another way of focusing. The white light was easier this morning, but the laser is sometimes better for distant objects where I can stand behind the camera, point it at something and focus on the bright red dot, as long as the cats don't go chasing around after it. Now metering once again, spot meter. Got the film speed set at 100, although it's a 125 film. Tiny bit more exposure won't do any harm. Going to meter off the tree trunk again. Use dark shadow areas, make sure I get plenty of detail in there. Always test fire your shutter. Not only do you test that the shutter's working, you know that you've actually shut down the aperture from the preview mode. Saves wasting film and getting very disappointed when you get back. So I'm going for 15 seconds at f32. And I'm going to shield the lens from the sun, which is streaming in here. I've got to be careful not to get the dark slide in the shot. I should be okay there. Shutter cocked. I'm going to have to move around, apologies. Can't shield it properly there. That's done. Now I think I'll give this slightly longer. Reason being, last time I was here I had a bit of a shock when I did get underexposure on the tree and it ruined it. Now I'd rather have more exposure on this tree. If the highlights blow out, they're only a small part of the scene. I can live with that. I'm also going to pull the development, so let's go for about 20 odd seconds, I think. Very exact science this, isn't it? Let's just try and make sure I cover that lens again from the bit of sun coming in if I can. Got to be very careful here because I could easily get this dark slide into the shot if I'm not careful. I think that's about right there, but I've got to twist my arm to look at my watch, which doesn't help. There we go. I just think I'm shading it properly. Yeah, I think that's definitely, well, hopefully out the scene. If it isn't, it's going to be very embarrassing. And that's it, done. Shoot over. Well, I've just made a massive cock up and now I've got to start all over again. I was just packing up the camera to leave, feeling quite pleased with myself with my 2 shots today. And as I looked at the lens, I noticed it was still set at f5.6. I didn't stop it down for that last shot. It was wide open. Everything's going to be out of focus. It's going to be so overexposed. You'd need a nuclear weapon to penetrate it. It'd be that deep. So I've got to set up again, put some more film in and reshoot it. The joys of large format. Well, let's have a quick look at this shot anyway. 5 stops overexposed. That's my shadows on a zone 9 in this case instead of a zone 4. And you can see straight away, look at the lack of depth of field, f5.6. It's razor thin, but obviously tons of shadow detail in there. And just look how well the overall image has held all the tones in there. Plenty of detail in the highlights and the shadows, so maybe a cock-up, but it just demonstrates how flexible film can be. So here we go again. Redo everything. Refocus, recompose. Really, I need more practice with this stuff. Okay, let's crack on. The light is getting a bit too bright now. Okay, that's that bit done. It's also dazzlingly bright now. The contrast is off the scale. Nothing like it was 5 minutes ago when I thought I'd got my final shot. It's absolutely awful now. It's streaming through. I'm going to have to pull the development. Thankfully, the only film I've got left is HP5+, which is a lower contrast. And it is very, very nice for scenes like this, so possibly a better bet anyway than the FP4+. But let's get on with metering. Okay, a lot faster shutter speeds now. I'm looking at 1 second So I'm going to go for 1 second and 2 seconds. Let me just set that up. A lot easier that way. Test fire again. 1 second. Cock shutter, cock up. Really bad light now. Okay, fingers crossed, not blocked it again. Well, this actually turned out better than I expected. I knocked a third off the development time to tame those highlights so they wouldn't block up too much, and they don't appear to have. There's plenty of detail in there, they're not bright white. And I've also got plenty of shadow detail in it, which is nice to see. Also, the depth of field this time at f32, everything's in focus, right through to those fine twigs in the background. And it actually is better than I thought, despite it being very contrasty. It's nice and sharp, and it's got a lot more punch than I'd hoped to retain in it. But I don't think the composition is as nice as the first one, so I think I will revert back to that first composition when I reshoot this with the 8x10. So that's large format, kicking my butt for not knowing what I'm doing, oh, look at those cobwebs, for not knowing what I'm doing, for being complacent, for not having enough experience and practice. So more time with the large format required. Yes, so anyway, as ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.